Every time you donate blood, every time a soldier is saved on the battlefield, every time a child receives a transfusion in an emergency, you're using the life's work of a man the world forgot. He was a black surgeon in the age of segregation. He revolutionized medicine during World War II, saving hundreds of thousands of lives. And when he needed blood himself, no hospital would give it to him. This is the story of Dr. Charles R. Drew, the father of blood banks, and the man who died because of the color of his skin. Charles Richard Drew was born in 1904 in Washington, D.C., a city divided by race, where black children attended segregated schools, and black doctors were rare. But young Charles had a different dream. He didn't want to be a janitor or a porter. He wanted to be a doctor. He played football, ran track, studied hard, not for glory, but for survival. In 1926, he graduated from Amherst College, one of the few black students in his class. Then came medical school at McGill University in Montreal, where he excelled, despite the racism he faced daily. In 1938, Drew began his groundbreaking research at Columbia University. His focus? Blood plasma, the liquid part of blood that carries cells and proteins. At the time, blood could only be stored for a few days, and often spoiled before it could be used. Drew discovered how to separate plasma from whole blood, and store it for weeks, even months. He called it blood banking. It was revolutionary. When World War II broke out, the British asked for his help. Drew traveled to London, and within months he created the first large-scale blood bank in history. His method saved countless soldiers, British, American, Canadian. He became known as the father of blood banks. But here's the truth they left out. The U.S. military, which relied on Drew's system to save its own soldiers, refused to allow black donors to give blood for white patients. They claimed it was scientific, but Drew knew it was racism. He protested, loudly, publicly. He resigned from the Red Cross in 1942, after they enforced a policy of racial segregation in blood donation. "I am not a racist," he said, "but I will not participate in a system that treats human life as less valuable based on skin color." After the war, Drew returned to Howard University, where he trained a new generation of black surgeons. He fought for equal treatment in hospitals, for better funding for black medical schools. He believed medicine should be about healing, not hierarchy. But the world outside the operating room remained cruel. In 1950, while driving with colleagues to a medical conference in North Carolina, Drew was involved in a car accident. He was rushed to a hospital, but not just any hospital. It was a white-only hospital, and they refused to treat him. Even though he was bleeding out, even though he had saved thousands, they turned him away. He died at age 45. Today, over 10 million Americans donate blood every year. Over 5 million transfusions are performed annually, thanks to Drew's discovery. But how many know his name? How many remember that he died because no one would give him blood? His daughter, Charlene Drew Jarvis, once said, "He gave the world the gift of life, and was denied that same gift when he needed it most." In 1987, the U.S. Postal Service issued a stamp in his honor. In 2008, President George W. Bush awarded him the Congressional Gold Medal. But in everyday life, in textbooks, in hospitals, in conversations, his name is still missing. So next time you see a blood drive, or hear about a soldier saved by a transfusion, or think about the power of science to heal, remember the name Dr. Charles R. Drew. Because history forgets the quiet ones, but we don't have to. And if you've ever donated blood, thank him, because without him, millions wouldn't be alive today.